Hey guys, what's up? This is Dr. Trade here. Welcome to the channel. This is my first ever YouTube video, so I'll be real with you guys. I'm a bit nervous and still new to this, and I also have a habit of speaking fast, so please bear with me if I rush through anything or stumble a little while I talk. I'm still getting comfortable with this whole recording thing, and it honestly means a lot to me that you guys are taking the time to watch this. And guys, please like the video and please do subscribe if you're new to the channel. It really helps this channel grow, and it will also let me know that you guys like these kind of videos and they're helping you. My name is Dr. Trade, and I've been trading for over 4 years now, and trust me guys when I say this, it hasn't been a straight path. I've had moments where everything made sense and moments where I felt completely lost. I've had wins that made me feel on top of the world and losses that really hit me hard. Times where I doubted myself and times where everything finally clicked. But every real breakthrough I've had in trading came from one person, Michael J. Huddleston, the ICT himself. I owe a lot of my understanding to him, and I want to give full credit where it's due. Nothing I teach here is my invention. I'm simply sharing what I've learned from him and how it's helped me become a better trader. Now, I know some of you guys have already studied ICT concepts or who are familiar with the materials might be thinking, yeah, I've heard this before, I've seen this before, what's new? And that's completely fine, guys. I just want to start the series in a beginner-friendly way so we can all start on the same page and build the foundation properly together. I want this episode 1 to be the first pillar that everything else in the series will sit on. And don't worry guys, I'm keeping this very simple for the people who feel lost, confused, or just like me when I first started learning ICT concepts. For this episode, we are going to keep it very simple. We'll mostly be going through slides, and then we look at one chart example at the end, just to bring everything together. And before we get into it, I want to explain how I'll be teaching. The examples I'll show you in the series will be hindsight examples on purpose, because guys, look, ICT teaches in hindsight because it's the clearest way to show why price moved the way it did and how the algorithm delivered from one liquidity pool to the next. And also hindsight lets me slow things down for you, and I can easily break the thing step by step and remove the distractions and chaos of the live market so you can properly understand the ICT concepts. But once you understand the logic in hindsight, you will start seeing the same behavior in the live market. Alright guys, with that said, let's get into episode 1. Right, so this is episode 1. Today we are starting with something most traders never talk about. Why so many traders get ICT concepts wrong. And the truth is, it's not because ICT is difficult. It's because a lot of traders approach it completely wrong. New traders, they want setups, they want signals, they want entries that they can copy. They want a magic pattern or a shortcut. But let me tell you the truth, guys. There's no shortcut in trading. And also, new traders think ICT is a strategy, but it's not. ICT is a concept. You have to get this right, that ICT is not a strategy. It is a concept. It's a framework that helps you understand how and why price moves. And that's where new traders get it wrong. They skip the concepts, they skip the foundation. They just want to jump into the charts without understanding the story behind the moves. Now, just to set expectations, we are not going heavy into the charts today, guys. This episode is about understanding. It's not about me showing you entries. Some of you might already know this part, and that's fine. But we have to start here. Every strong trader starts with the same basics. From here, we'll build step by step, and everything we do later will make a lot more sense. All right, the basics you need before the real ICT foundation. So there are three simple things we are going to cover today that will make ICT actually make sense to you. Why so many traders misunderstand ICT? What ICT really means by the algorithm, and what narrative actually is. Once these three ideas click, you'll start recognizing ICT concepts a lot easier when you watch the live market. And I just want to give you a clear picture of these points. So later on, when we move deeper into ICT concepts, you are not confused about what you're looking at. So the picture is really, really clear to you guys. This episode isn't about learning entries or setups. Like I said before, it's just about helping you understand what we are learning, why it matters, and how everything fits together inside the ICT framework. Once this part is clear, everything after this becomes way easier to follow. All right, let's talk about why most traders get ICT wrong. Because honestly, the concepts themselves aren't the issue. It's the way people approach them. The first thing people do is open the chart and jump straight into it. They see a candle move and instantly start hunting for something to trade. They look for anything that looks like a setup and they just go for it. But ICT isn't about jumping on whatever looks good. It's about actually reading the story behind price. Then there's a second mistake. They focus on the entry instead of the logic. They zoom into the candle that moved instead of stopping and asking, okay, why did it move? And what is it reaching for? And here's the biggest mistake, or here's the biggest problem I see. A lot of traders don't really understand liquidity. They don't know what price is targeting. They don't know what's already been taken. And they don't know what's next on the menu. So the whole chart feels random, like price is just doing whatever it wants. They try to understand the outcome without understanding the cause behind it. But once you fix that, once you understand what price is actually doing, ICT becomes so much clearer. So when ICT says the algorithm, he's not saying he coded the market, he created it, or anything like that. Now look, some people out there love to debate this, right? Some people think he built it, some people think he discovered it, but that's not really the point here. He's really talking about how price behaves, because if you watch the charts long enough, you start to notice price moves with intention. It's consistent, it follows certain rules, it reacts to liquidity the same way over and over again. That's what he means by the algorithm. It's just a way of explaining how structured price actually is. And here's the easiest way to think about it. You don't need to know who created the system. You just learn how it behaves over time. We are doing the same thing over here. We are studying how price behaves, so it stops feeling random and finally starts making sense. Okay then, what is narrative? Narrative is simply the story behind price. It's understanding what the market has already reached for, what is likely to draw for next, and the time that delivery is happening. You are looking at what liquidity has been taken, what's still resting above or below, and which pool the algorithm is most likely to seek next. And ICT always says this: time comes before price. That means there are specific windows where algorithm is willing to deliver a move, and narrative helps you line it up. So you're not guessing or forcing trades. When you understand narrative, you stop looking at the chart like random price swings. You will start to see a sequence. Price takes something here, it reaches for something there, and this is all happening inside a particular time window because that's how the algorithm operates. And that's the power of narrative. You're not just reacting to some random price action, right? You're understanding why it moved, what it cleared, and what is most likely aiming for next. Once you start thinking in narrative, you will stop guessing, you will stop forcing trades, You will just follow the logic that's already built into the chart. Right, guys, so before we jump onto the chart, I want to connect these two ideas together, the algorithm and the narrative, because they work hand in hand. The algorithm is what delivers price. It's the underlying behavior, it's the structure. It's the reason price moves with intention, reaching for liquidity, respecting time, and repeating the same behavior again and again. But narrative, that's what helps us understand the behavior. Narrative is like the lens you look through to understand what the algorithm is doing. It shows you what liquidity has already been taken, what liquidity price is likely going for next, and the specific time window in which that delivery is happening. And when you combine those two, how the algorithm moves and the story behind that movement, price stops looking random. You start to see a rhythm, a sequence, a purpose behind every push and every pull. Right? It's no longer guessing work. Right? So when you jump on the chart, you're not guessing anymore. You're not like, oh, the price is going up, or the price is going down. You will actually begin to understand why price is moving up or why price is going down. And here's the best part. Once you see this, you don't need to chase the market anymore, guys. You are simply following what it's already telling you. On the next slide, I'll show you a simple example. We are going to look at what the price was doing before the real move, how the algorithm framed it, and what was the true drawn liquidity. Once you see it in action, everything we've talked about so far is going to make a lot more sense. Alright guys, so here's the chart we're looking at. This is a 5-minute chart on gold. I've marked out the session. This is the Asian, the London, and the New York session. So you can see the behavior shifts throughout the day. So let's walk through this step by step. During Asian session, right, price starts consolidating, then we see a little push higher. And we see a little pullback, and we see a little push higher again, and then price just starts consolidating pre-London session. We get into London session, right, nothing really happens, but 20 minutes into London session, we see price pushes higher from this fair value gap right into this PD array. As soon as we tap into this PD array, nothing happens after that. Price starts consolidating. We see a bit of exhaustion, and all we see is price is building buy side and sell side liquidity. Comes New York session, price starts pushing up slowly, right, attacking this buy side liquidity. Right, we sweep the buy side and we go deeper into this higher time frame PD array, and that's when things starts to shift. We see a big nice displacement to the downside, giving us a market structure shift and giving us this fair value gap. Price retraces into this fair value gap and price delivers lower. And guys, all of these are unfolding inside the New York session. And in this example, this is where the algorithm really shows its intention. The timing, the liquidity, the high time frame PD array, everything aligns here. Now, that doesn't mean New York is always the delivery window. Delivery can happen in any session, but here the narrative lined up perfectly in New York session. So when you see a sweep, the deeper tap, the displacement, the market structure shift, the fair value gaps, the retracement back into the fair value gap, the reaction of the fair value gap, all inside a delivery window, that's the narrative confirming a real move. This is time and price working together. The algorithm delivering into the draw. And you see this fair value gap at the bottom. That was the real draw on liquidity. That's the level the algorithm was taking price from the very beginning. And this is where you really start to see how the algorithm and the narrative fit together. The algorithm gives you the behavior, the push, the pull, the sweep, the displacement, but the narrative tells you why each of those things happened and what the next delivery is likely targeting. So they are not two separate ideas. They are the same story from two different angles. So the algorithm shows you the mechanics, the narrative shows you the intention. So when you learn to read both at the same time, the timing, the liquidity, the deeper tap, the displacement showed in this example, nothing feels random here anymore. You start recognizing that every move had a purpose and every delivery had a destination. Right guys, so here's the whole move broken down in a clean, simple sequence. We saw Asia build up liquidity, London giving the first expansion into the higher time frame PD array, and then pre-New York setting up that buy side. New York is where everything comes together. We get that sweep to the buy side, a deeper tap into the high time frame PD array. We get a displacement, the fair value gap, and that what confirms the real move. From there, price delivers to the high time frame drawn liquidity, which was a 4-hour fair value gap. Again, delivery can happen in any session. It just happened to line up perfectly in New York for this example. And this is where time, liquidity, the algorithm, and the narrative all line up and work together. Alright guys, this wraps up episode 1. I know today might have felt really basic for some of you, and that was on purpose. I want the beginners to understand this properly so we can all start this journey together on the right foundation. We can't build anything meaningful unless we start with the basics, and this episode was that first pillar. And since this is my first ever YouTube video, please forgive me if I stumbled a bit or spoke too fast. You know, like I said before, I'm still getting used to all this. But trust me, I'll try and get better with every episode. And listen guys, if you found any value in today's video, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It will really help the channel grow. And I'll be releasing new episode every single week. And we have an entire series lined up. We are just getting started. This is only episode 1 and there's a lot more coming. And if you want to download the PDF for today's lesson, it's available inside the Discord. And if you're not in the Discord yet, the link is in the description. Feel free to join us. And guys, thank you again for watching. Thank you for your support, and I'll see you in the next one.